When I think back to the earliest memory I can possibly think, the memory is of me being 3 years old and crossing the border. My name is Antonio Arellano Sanchez, and I was born in Uriangato, Guanajuato, Mexico, but I was raised in a really small ranchito called La Cinta in Michoacán. And at 3 years old, my parents had made the difficult decision to leave back everybody that we knew, our families, our native country, to venture north to America in search of hope. And we fell in love with a nation that never fully loved us back.
The Trump administration, you may recall, announced the recession of DACA. We filed, through the assistance of a very prominent and dear friend, attorney Jorge Gonzalez, a writ of mandamus to force the administration to respond. They started approving the permits. Then the USCIS administration contacted me to say, give us all the data so we can expedite approval.
The California-Mexico Study Abroad program changed my life. It's given me an opportunity to embark on a trip, on a journey that I thought was impossible. When I discovered that this was an opportunity for me, I apprehensively moved forward because I was worried, I was fearful. Can we actually do this? Can this happen? Professor Armando and the entire team have been nothing but helpful and supportive, and really given us an opportunity to realize how rich our culture is.
Our program requires one thing that everyone has to perform, which is an ethnographic research paper, and they write about their experience returning home, being able to travel on their own and reconnecting with family, visiting historical landmarks, visiting, of course, places of great importance and attractions, historical, cultural, etc.
I came to visit my sister, who I had not seen in almost 29 years, meet my nephews, who we've only known through text and through phone calls. And I've come back to visit now the graves of a lot of family members who unfortunately have passed, and I haven't been able to come and say my last goodbyes to. I'm motivated by the sacrifices of my ancestors, by knowing the struggle of my grandparents, my parents, and all that they've had to sacrifice to make opportunities and create opportunities where there hasn't been any. In America, they say that you can pull yourselves up from your boots, but some of us don't have boots, you know, and we have to start from below zero. And a lot of people say, keep knocking on doors and you'll get opportunities. Some of us have had to create the door to knock on. And I live in a state that's very conservative, very Republican, very anti-immigrant. Our governor and our lieutenant governor have talked about immigrants in a disparaging way, talking about us as invaders and as a threat to America. We're not a threat. The political rhetoric has been one that tries to intimidate immigrants. They want us to be afraid to the point where we decide to leave, where we say, this is not going to work, I need to go back to Mexico. When we give into that fear, we lose control of our power, of our destiny, of our future.
Al poniente, el color blanco, Cimatlán, el rumbo de las mujeres.
And to me, the worst case is the more than 500,000 young people that grew into eligibility upon graduating from high school, but have been denied. 500,000 have been denied, almost 100,000 per year, that growing to eligibility. But not only the Trump administration, the Biden administration has been forced not to allow any new applications by the courts. They are in a state of limbo. They cannot attend a university like their brothers and sisters, or they cannot benefit from the relief of deportation. There is no social, political, student movements in the United States. There are young people that I wish they would wake up and protest and create a synergy for that to be changed. Because nobody else is going to do it for them.
The Supreme Court will soon take up DACA once again, and our humanity will be discussed as if we are just another piece of legislation, whether we belong in this country, whether our humanity can be recognized. And I hope that America comes to terms with the fact that it's a nation of immigrants, and it always has been, and that it's better because of immigration, and that it's stronger and safer because of immigration. It's important that America comes to terms with the fact that the nation is diversifying, that the populations of Latinos in America, of Mexicans in America, are too large to continue to ignore. And so I refuse to be fearful. I'm fearless, along with millions like me. My dreams are not mine alone. They're the dreams of millions of undocumented immigrants in the United States that came to this country believing in its promise of equality and justice for all.
See the smiles?
Made it, yes.
All the anxiety, now it's gone, ya relájense, right? How you feeling, Anna? How you feeling?
Emotional. I'm happy to be home. For me, it's like a big deal because like having a legal entry can teach a lot of things. It's like I know.
And a recent publication of the first selection of 38 essays from the summer of 2021 was just released this month, so that we can share with the world what this very highly successful and beautiful human stories represents to that population, to that dreamers population. And then we have already the potential for a second and even a third book.
And DACA, while it's been a great asset to have, it's given me an opportunity to go to school, to get a career, to get a driver's license, to work in the United States, it's not enough. It's a temporary solution, and we shouldn't settle for crumbs. We need to make sure that we demand full and comprehensive immigration reform, not just for dreamers, but for the 11 million undocumented immigrants, our parents who've sacrificed it all, who are the embodiment of the American dream.
Bye.